So I've been asked to record this video of my favourite song, whatever that may be. Well, favourite song, that's easy. Sing, sing, sing. I've loved the music for years. I first came across it, 3.5 years ago? Maybe? It was a while ago, let's go with a while. And actually, it was part of a lot of music that helped me out of a tough time of my life. I always liked music, and it means a lot to me now, actually. But back then, I really enjoyed it. There was another one I also enjoyed. There was a concert band one, but the only performances I can find of that song are live concerts. So live concerts are about 8 minutes long. So no thanks, I'm not doing that. Maybe let someone else do it. Oh, I guess I'll do Expert Plus. I think I can probably manage it. When I originally did the demos of this, that was actually before I played in Beat the Hub. I'm a bit better now. I got a lot faster over the course of that competition. Here's my drums. The first time I heard those drums, I described them a bit like a drum kit rolling down a hill. So it goes dun 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 dun. Oh, for goodness sake! Interesting bits come thick and fast at the start here. So I described that drum kit as like drum kit. The drums there is like a drum kit falling down a hill. There's a load more beats there that I'm not mapping, but it's a relatively subtle bit of the music. It's not go crazy time, so it'd be completely inappropriate to map it going crazy. Okay, so how do you map it if you're not going crazy? Well, I guess you pick all the strong beats, right? Unfortunately, that kind of leads to... Let's see if I can do it without changing the map. It leads to this. I can't quite manage it, right? But it's all just in the centre. Very straight, very boring, which it kind of conveyed the feeling I wanted, but it just wasn't very interesting. So, actually, thanks to Throughhead, so here between him and Pyro, I've learned a lot about mapping in a relatively short space of time. This is map 5, I think? Might be 4? I can't remember, I'd have to look it up. But thanks to those two, I learned an awful lot about mapping in a relatively short space of time. And one of the things Through suggested was that I should... Oh, swing rhythms back. That I should, rather than just doing here, I should move it about a bit. And actually, that's all I've done. I've just moved it left to right a bit. Sorry, I'm going through the drums again. And it's not actually a big thing, but it's surprising how much extra interest just swaying slightly from side to side makes. At least to me. Ah yes, the double sliders. So those sliders, that was just me trying to work out how do you map 5 drums in 1/4 of a beat sensibly. And now we have swing rhythms. So the swing rhythms, it goes, what was it? I think it goes down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. It leads with the down each time, I think. But the point is, which hand leads the pair changes each time. So it goes dun 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 dun. Like all string, it actually goes dun 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 dun. But let's ignore that detail. What you have is you've got 2 notes, 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. I've used this pattern before actually, so in Livewire I used it. It was down down up up. So the easiest way to play it is just keep your hands like this. Da-da, da-da. It's really simple. Actually, it catches a surprising amount of people out for some reason. I'm not sure if someone's got insight into why that is difficult. Please tell me. I would love to know why this pattern is so hard. Maybe it's just because it's swing. The other way you can think about it is because these patterns are effectively triplets. So instead of going dun 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 dun, you can go da 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 da. But now let's drop every second in every group of 3. So it goes da da da. So it goes da drop da da drop da da drop da da drop da da drop. Right, and that's what's happening here. So if we were playing in no dots mode, let's 22-ish. Let's try 21. So I'm going to play in no dots mode for a moment. Oh, I can't do it. If you were playing in no dots mode, you could go da 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 da, and it would just be a perfectly normal stream, and you could play it like that. I love that. I really like the idea that you could just play it as a perfectly normal stream if it weren't for the fact that I put arrows there telling you have to do this. And anyone who has played this on no arrows, you'll see what I mean. You can just play that as a normal stream. Try it. But why do I like this so much? I think it's just because I'm a musician, right? So I'm thinking of these in terms of triplets with the rest. There's note, arrest, note. That's how I think about these things. Oh, I've lost the walls. Okay, got some 90s here. Fine. It's just added, the 90s literally just added interest. That's why they're there. So following some trombones here. Now the trumpets. Clarinet. So we've got a solo clarinet here, that's what we were hearing there. So following mainly the saxes plus the big trumpet trombone hits. Now we've got solo trumpet. Hear plenty more from the two solo instruments later. We go straight from the trumpet into sectional trumpet, and then right back again. And now we're into big chords again. Okay, back to our drum kit rolling down a hill. You can see the return of my swing patterns. So all the doubles here, are big trombone chords. All the singles are the solo instrument. Okay, it stops there. So the lights here were difficult to get right. So if you have a look around, the ring lights, they're casually pulsing away to the beat of the bass. We've got the BBS lights, so the big chevron. That's just on. That's my best representation of the clarinet. I figured flashing wasn't going to cut it, so I just left it on. And we've got some other lights in red, so yellow for me. They're the ones that are... whoops. They were representing every interjection. So we've got multiple lights in yellow. That's our trombones. Then side lasers. That's our trumpets. And then this changes later. It's really telling the difference between the trumpet style and the clarinet style. It had a really slow, really slow slider. I wonder if I can find it again. Way too early. If you look at the first slider that comes up, coming out of this solo, soon, there it is. It's really slow actually. So the blocks, got one camera behind me. How do I do this? Okay, blocks are here. I'm going to put them here. We've got the arrow block up here. Thank you, controller. The arrow block up here, and the dot notes actually come down diagonally. So swinging, you've got to swing really slow. The NJS isn't that high, it's only 18. So you got to swing that really slow, and then the next one is, instead of being sort of like this, thank you. Instead of being like this, it's now like this. So you sort of go up and down. Was it down and up? It's down and up. So you go down really slowly and then up really quickly. And it's just because of how it represented the sound. So listen to the sound, and you should notice it goes quite slowly. So he goes, do, and then dweet. I can't sing a trumpet, it's terrible. Okay, another one of my very quick drumming bursts. So the walls, they mostly represent that trumpeter's love of vibrato. I don't know why he does it so much. It was a pain. One of the very early drafts, this was way before testing, or even before I'd started down mapping, those wall sections where I've got the walls on either side to represent the vibrato, I had it as just a line of dot notes. So the intention was, you go wee 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 wee. Oh, actually, that's probably not catching. Wee 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 wee, and then you go like this. So go wee. I put it in. It was a nightmare to time. So I tried the first one, and it was just terrible. So you end up sort of doing that as quickly as you can. You don't listen to the music, and okay, if you listen to the music, it'll be great, right? But why? It didn't work, so I just had these walls go flying past instead. Much better. This is the hardest part on the map. When I first made this map, I could not get past that point. Can now. But as I said, I've got a little bit better since then. Why did I choose... So there I could have gone da-dun, 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 or... whatever else I wanted to go dun 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 whatever. But I went dun 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 dun. Why did I decide flicks were a good idea there? I can't actually remember. I think it was so in each 4 at any rate. It makes sense to make it self-contained unit because each instrument group goes dun 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 dun. So it makes sense to make each group of 4 identical, which I definitely did. Whatever I was going to do that. But why did I decide I want to go dun 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 dun? I think it's because it felt like each note was a pair, and they were slow enough that you could definitely, the flicks were definitely possible, at least if you could manage the drumming section. Oh well, the mysteries of my mind of however many months ago that is now. Oh, well, it's over 8 months ago. And half a dozen maps, so... a while ago. I don't know what I was thinking. Okay, I don't know why I did those flicks, it's just fun. So the window there. Why a window? Most of these aren't necessary. I could easily put it to something to the side to avoid vision blocks. One full 3-slider or 2-slider. Well, I wanted a fast movement, but I didn't want all the blocks that come with stacks, towers, or 3-sliders. Ah, this bit. I want to play that again. I love that bit. There's because the rhythm goes. It's not very interesting. So how do I split? Well, it goes or something like that. How does it go? So of their 12 notes there, they emphasise the first one and the 5th one. Okay, so this leads naturally into and then hopefully there's a big brass hit at the end. Bang! And handily, both that one and the one that followed it, I just so happened that I went into it with an up hand. It was great. So going into those walls was another bit where it just worked out really nicely, because it means I could actually climb the notes up. I'm playing those walls again. A lot of the interest is contained in the ends. Musically, it's in the middle, but in terms of what I've done... Oh, seriously? Back even further? Okay. So it goes bottom, which is kind of inevitable with down notes. You can do the middle row, but they're not great leading into it after a rest. But bottom, and they go mid, and now up. And because we've just got this long wall whooshing past, vision blocks are non-issues. But it just feels, I just really like the feel of going da 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 da. As you go up, the notes go higher. That slider, I wish that it's an up slider for a I wish it was a down one. It's not a perfect map. There's issues. I'm quite happy to admit there's issues. And actually, to be honest, one of my least favourite things is the fact that sometimes my sliders went up when the notes were going down. I really want to go down when the notes go down. That's just what made so much of this map so pleasing for me. Louis Downwell is a mad trumpeter. I don't know why he plays this high. He likes it though. What could I have done better? Well, I don't know. There's things I don't like about it, and there's things I do like about it, and things I think could have been better. What could I? Is there anything wrong with it that I can really fix? Because a lot of the reasons these things I don't like stayed in was just because I couldn't work out how the heck I'm supposed to change them. Like that down slider. Where was I getting an up slider from? I probably needed to lead into an up anyway for the next thing. Or at least an up on my left hand, which is why I'd have done it, but no, not up, a down. I was probably leading into the down on the next thing. So I had to have an up, right? But I really wish I could have made it a down. Maybe bomb reset? But bomb resets are, I think, suited to a particular sound. So, my Girly Cupid map. I don't know about anyone else's, I was thoroughly fed up of that song after finishing it. My one, there's points where you sort of jump over bombs, and actually the few times I've used bomb resets, I always try and put them so it maps to a sound which feels like you're sort of jumping over something. So you do whatever you with your hands, and you bring them up and bring them down on the next beat. And it feels like you're jumping over, but can I do this here? Well, I don't jump. So, no bomb reset? It's endless dilemmas, right? Everything's a compromise. You can't... This is a sort of song which you can't fully map. There's too much going on. And damn it, I tried. But it can't be done, so... And there's things which would be so nice thematic, like, it's a down note, let's go down. Then we go, now I want to do some down afterwards, and my hands are at the floor. It's endless compromises, and that's probably my least favourite thing. I felt like, oh, thematically, I want to do this, but I can't, because it doesn't fit. I probably moaned far too much about that map. Oh well, I'm just going to blame the English in me. Right, while I'm here, I'm gonna talk a little bit about my expert, because for me, everything I do, absolutely everything, is as full spread as I can make it. Not everything has an expert plus, but everything has easy, normal, hard, and expert. I don't do this top difficulty nonsense, or down to hard nonsense. I just do all of it. It doesn't take that long, to be honest. Once you've got the expert in place, if you've got the expert, you've done over half the work. Expert and lightings is over half the work anyway. Easy, normal, hard really doesn't take that long. You can put them through quite quickly, and they usually don't get much. But it just looks nice, and you know that anyone can play your map, which, for me, is far more important. I do commissions, right? I get paid to do it. Why would I do... Oops. There you go. I wish I could turn the previews off. But this one's got a full spread. This one's a very low one. Let's go find Sing 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 back. But why did I do that? Because I want to, basically. I mean, that's all I do. But even in commissions, I do it. So where's the... Oh, actually, I probably can't talk about commissions. You can probably guess which ones are commissions. But if... I have got published commissions, several of them. If you look at them, you'll see easy, normal, hard, expert, often expert plus as well. Everything is full spread. I just like doing that. It means I've got very practice at down mapping. So I'm going to go through and do the expert too and talk about down mapping a bit. So, drums. This is very similar. I took out a couple of notes. Really not much. Okay, so that one I killed the sliders. They were a bit unnecessary in the first place. This one I killed that tough rhythm. Lots of people were finding it difficult, so I thought, let's just chuck it. So you're just getting one of each. This is probably the most vicious I've ever been to an expert plus to expert down map. But then it was a 1,500 note expert plus, which I think is an awful lot. Maybe other people out there think that's pretty low, but I think it's a lot. Oh, I remember that bit. I wonder if it's an expert plus, actually. Yeah, the large part of what died in going to expert here is it's just lots of swing rhythms. And later on, so during the band mixed with solo parts, I have had a tendency to either kill off the solo or kill off the band. Okay, here's some more drumming. It's much more centred than the Expert Plus, but I think it's largely due to what instruments are there. Ah yes, I remember now. So I dropped a lot of the trombone doubles and made them singles, just to make it a bit less frantic. And then I picked out the 2 or 4 most prominent notes in the solo and did those. That was just rationalised, I think. I don't know. A lot of the solo stuff, rather than I down-mapped it slightly, but a lot of it was just a matter of I just rationalised it. I put it in the same place so the patterns would become more easily recognisable. Like a simple drumming pattern. In Expert Plus that can be anywhere. Chance to enjoy the light show though. Expert I can do easily enough now. Ah, gallops. I got complaints about the gallops. Gallops seem fine to me. Not repeated ones, but individual ones, they always seem fine to me, but thanks to those complaints I've taken to moving them apart. It's an odd thing actually. So for me, it always felt obvious that coming out of this stream, if you're going to do a gallop, you need to move one wrist at double speed. So if you go up, up, and then you want to go into a gallop, your left hand would have to go down in, say, a quarter rather than a half like the right, or an eighth rather than a quarter like the right, or whatever. So your left hand has to move twice the speed of your right. So it always felt obvious to me. Okay, you're going to go a stream here, and then you're going to put the gallop here, just beyond the stream. So your right hand would have to just, so the fast hand would just have to go up and immediately down, and the slow hand would have to move over. And to my surprise, people found that really hard. What's going on? I've reduced the movement you're doing, and this is hard now. Well, okay, so why is it hard? The reason is because it's reading. I know this is a gallop. This is a classic case of map blindness, right? Even if I say so myself, I don't think I'm quite as vulnerable to it as most people. That's because I pay a lot of attention to double directionals, parity, and vision blocks. I go to great lengths to make sure those are not going to be issues, or typically shouldn't be, at least, I should say. But this one, it just never occurred to me that would be an issue. So, how do you do this? Well, actually, what you do is you make them do more movement. So you put this up here and down here, because instead of the blocks being here and here, right next to each other, almost blocking each other, they're now here and here. Ah, now I can see them properly. And even though this is more movement, it suddenly makes more sense. Actually, you can cheat and you can just do it straight between them and you hit them anyway. I mean, massive hitboxes, the good hitboxes overlap completely. It's just... damn it, Stone! I hate it when Plastic Puzzle does that. It just never occurred to me that would be an issue. It's so strange. That rising bit I found really tough to take notes out of. So I wanted to get the same feel, but moving like that, and I wasn't going to put that in an expert. But all the notes are the same importance. Now what? Oh. Down mapping's not an easy practice, I must say. Sometimes it's easier, sometimes you just have to kill a note when you really don't want to, just because the patterns are too hard. So that's I've lost my flicks. I decided flicks were way too much. My philosophy when doing anything in Beat Saber is to try and keep as much of the feel as I can, It's pretty tough when you get to easy, but in expert it should be fine, right? Surprisingly, it's harder than I expected a lot of the time. I reckon I've done a decent job, if I say so myself. Weird outward diagonal. Would I do that now? I probably wouldn't do that out those funny diagonals like that. I'll probably just do them as straights now and make you do a slight scoop. Huh. So these last two notes, they stopped being doubles and became singles. They were very, very tight as doubles, even in Expert Plus. I'm amazed nobody complained about those as doubles in Expert Plus, actually. No, I take that back, someone probably has, just not to me. If you have any complaints about my maps, do tell me. It probably won't get changed, but I do like to hear them. Oh, I'm hot now. It's a hot day. Missed 3! I think I might have gone back, so I think I might have missed more than 3. Oh, I've been at this for 26 minutes. Wow. I guess I should probably wrap this up. I'm not going to play through the rest of the difficulties and just talk more about down mapping. There's not a huge amount to talk about, other than what the wiki already says about what you can expect players to do. So I guess I sort of wrap it up here. Oh, well, while I'm here, I thank Pyro Warfare and Throughhead, who've definitely pointed out a lot of things I never realised. So I've been playing Beat Saber for getting on for 2 years now. So I was playing 2018 custom maps, you know, the terrible ones. I've played a lot of stuff, and I've seen all sorts of patterns. So I can cope with most things that fly at me, as long as they don't fly at me too fast. And actually, a lot of the things that are currently frowned upon, I think, oh, that's fine. and okay, it's a lot of the concepts like parity and vision and things like that make a lot of sense to me, but patterns, no. I've kind of had to relearn what patterns are good, because I just assumed any pattern in a map that I could do and was fun was fine. Not really, because some of them are harder than others, and I'm quite happy to sit there playing the same map 20 times just to get the hang of it. But not everyone is. So I think that's, for me, that's probably been my big learning experience doing this, where the things that I'm doing, I do these things and I think they're fine, but they're not for everyone. Some people play differently. People aren't prepared to necessarily learn how to play a map. They'd rather just play it, have fun, and move on. That's perfectly valid, just it's not how I do it. And then there's Risk players. I'm pretty certain it was Pyro who explained that to me. Thanks for that. I never properly thought about that. That's back. That's 4. I thought that's 4. That's back. It's fine. Took me ages to work that one out. This back. Weirdness. How do you stop a video like this? I guess I press the stop button.